Well, making good money isn't only about getting a good job. You also need to have the right mindset. And self-made millionaire Steve Siebold has a few tips for us this morning to tell us how to do just that. Joining over Zoom, giving us a few money-making tips for new graduates, also tells us a little more about his book, How Money Works. Steve, a self-made millionaire. Me, a self-made man, too. I started with nothing. I got most of it left. I'm excited to hear about what you have for the future to tell me how to make some money, because right now being broke is not any fun.
It never is, bud. It never is.
That's the truth right there. So these kids are graduating, all of us graduating from college or whatever, and then all of a sudden our views on money may be limiting us and stifling our income potential.
Yeah, I think most of us grow up sort of with a fear and scarcity mindset about money, and it's a necessary evil, and rich people are bad people, and those types of things. And I think we have to help graduates, and they have to do it themselves as well. Change your thinking to abundance, opportunity, and all the good things that money can bring them.
Isn't it interesting when you run into people that live through abundancy? Because my whole life has been we barely have enough to get by, and you get that trapped in here. People that live abundant usually act, think, and everything they do is in abundance, and usually I see great successes coming out of people with that mindset in my lifetime anyway.
Yeah, it's a completely different set of expectations where you're expecting to win. You're expecting to have abundance. You're expecting to have financial prosperity and experience the good things that money can bring you, and the comfort it can bring you, and the security it can bring you, as opposed to the opposite, which is, I think, where most of us, are raised with, really.
So if you're taking notes, tip number 1 was change your thinking. Tip number 2 is set high expectations. How Money Works is the book. Step number 3, you have to focus on solving problems, not hours worked. And that's a tough mindset for people too. Even business owners, they get caught up in how much time's being spent and not what's actually being accomplished.
Yeah, time is really irrelevant. It's especially if you're going for a job interview. I mean, I've hired hundreds and hundreds of people in my companies over the years, and the people applying typically focus on things like hours worked and vacation pay and that type of thing. What they should be thinking about is, how can you solve my problem? How can you solve more problems for me? How can you make us more money as a company, and that type of thing? Because that's all business owners really care about, employers care about.
Amen. Amen. Now, this happens to me a lot. Logic versus emotion. This goes into the next tip. And how do I know the difference?
Well, getting emotional about money is a big mistake. We've all heard that about when you're investing. Do not get emotional about money. It's easy to say, hard to do. But think logic, think strategy. Think about what to do with your money, how to invest your money, how to save, how to grow your money, and think about it minus emotion. Again, easier said than done, but it's really a necessary step.
And Steve Siebold is a self-made millionaire, so he knows what he's talking about. Let's get to another tip that really involves how money works and how it interacts with us. The final one is, sometimes it's good to get some help.
Yeah, get a mentor. I mean, that's why we wrote this book, How Money Works, me and my co-author, Tom Matthews, because we tried to mentor people through the book. It's a simple book that you can read in about an hour, and you really would never need to read another financial book for the rest of your life if you implemented the things we talk about in the book. And outside of that, get a mentor that's had some financial success and help them guide you along the way. Mentorship is one of the keys to major success.
I'll tell you what, I can read it in less than an hour. That'll help me be successful too. Steve, thank you for spending some time with us this morning and sharing your tips. And we'll make sure we get people moved over so maybe we can help you get that information out and make more people rich.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
You too, sir. 5 tips for new grads to get ahead with money by Steve Siebold, author of How Money Works. For more tips or to get yourself a copy, just go to howmoneyworks.com. That's howmoneyworks.com. Right after the break, we're going to hear about the truth.